If your child has autism or whole body apraxia, you already know how challenging some days can be. Trying to motor plan or coordinate their body, even the simplest movements can feel like climbing a mountain. Getting out of bed, eating their dinner, these tasks can seem impossible. Even following basic directions can explode into a battle. It's not just frustrating, it's heartbreaking to watch and exhausting for them. Take Jack. He's one of my clients. He's 10, and at first his mom thought he was just hitting that puberty stage where he was gaining a little weight and didn't feel like moving. But then she noticed something deeper. Movement wasn't just hard, it was like his body was actively fighting against him. She started to wonder, is he really being lazy or is something else going on? Here's something you may not know. Exercise may be the key to improving your child's ability to move intentionally. In fact, it can actually change your child's brain. It can improve how your child moves, how they feel, and even how they think, no matter how old they are. Let's talk about why I feel exercise is one of the most powerful and underused tools to support autistic individuals and those with whole body apraxia. Today, in this video, we're going to talk about how exercise helps the brain and body work better together, why muscle is actually considered a sensory organ, how exercise can boost your child's health in surprising ways, and then we'll talk about the simple things that you can start at home to support your child's intentional movement and health that cost absolutely nothing. And stick with me until the end because I'll share the outcome of Jack's journey and how exercise unlocked his potential in ways that his mom never thought possible. Hi, I'm Dr. Dana Johnson. I've worked in the autism space for over 20 years. I've seen firsthand that when we integrate intentional full body movement into daily routines, the brain starts to change. The results with my clients have been life-changing, and Jack's story is just one of them. Whole body apraxia means that the brain has trouble planning and controlling movement. It's not that your child doesn't necessarily want to move, it's that the signals between the brain and the body are getting scrambled or delayed. But here's the amazing part. Movement, specifically exercises like resistance training or aerobic activity, helps build new brain pathways. And this process is called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to grow, change, and learn. They'll have more confidence in their body. Every time your child moves with intention, those brain connections get stronger. And over time, this leads to better coordination, smoother movements, the ability to start movement much more easily, and ultimately more confidence in their body. Now, Jack has a very complex motor profile. He is non-speaking and his body moves much more impulsively, which causes more dysregulation. We didn't start big. We began with just 5 minutes of walking on a treadmill, and his body resisted at first. But with motor coaching, which is breaking the steps down into much more manageable steps and coaching his body through the movements, he slowly started to move and build more intentional motor skills. Now, here's something most people don't know. Muscle isn't just for strength, it's actually part of your child's sensory system. Muscles and joints help the brain know where the body is in space, and this sense is called proprioception. Without it, individuals can feel clumsy, off balance, or unsure of themselves. When we build muscle through resistance training and weight-bearing exercise, we increase those body signals. We feel more grounded, more regulated, and more in control of our movements. And that's why activities like pushing or pulling heavy objects, lifting, and squatting or using resistance bands aren't just workouts, they're actually training our nervous system. Now, Jack just started with a simple 5-pound weighted bar. At first, even that was difficult. His body fought back, and even his mom was thinking, this may not work out. But over time, he began to feel where his body was in space, which made him more confident, not just in his exercise, but in everyday life. Now here's where it gets even cooler. When muscles move, they release natural chemicals called myokines, and two of the most powerful ones are cathepsin B and irisin. Now, these cross into the brain and trigger the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And think of BDNF as Miracle-Gro for your child's brain, for all of our brains. It helps us to grow new neurons and strengthen our brain circuits. It helps us to improve focus and memory, and also reduce anxiety, which of course supports regulation. And the kind of exercise that boosts BDNF the most? Aerobic and resistance training, the very things that we were working on with Jack. And as he got stronger, his mom noticed not just the changes in his body, but in his mood. He seemed calmer and more regulated and less anxious. It wasn't every day, he still had his challenges, but it seemed that he was able to move his body much easier. Even others had started to comment. Now that's the hidden power of exercise. Let's talk about something many of you may not have talked about since 9th grade biology: mitochondria. Mitochondria are like tiny engines inside each of our cells. They produce energy that powers everything that we do, from moving to thinking to regulating. And studies in the autism space have shown that approximately 30 to 50% of individuals with autism have what's called mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, this can look like low energy or fatigue, gastrointestinal problems like constipation due to excess inflammation and decreased motility. It can also cause anxiety because increased inflammation to the brain affects our moods, and in some cases, seizures, because when neurons don't work properly, they can cause overexcitability and impaired neuron function. And lastly, frequent illness, because unhealthy mitochondria can lead to poor immune health. Now, just because your child exhibits some of these symptoms doesn't mean that they have mitochondrial dysfunction. Be sure to check with your doctor so that he or she will be able to let you know exactly what's going on. Now, here's the good news. Exercise builds mitochondria. It increases their number, makes them more efficient, and gives us more energy to function and move with intention. Even though Jack didn't have mitochondrial issues that were significant, exercise was a game changer for him. At first, he tired easily, but as we build up his stamina and endurance just a little bit more each week, his energy grew. And his mom told me he's not just exercising now, he wants to go outside. And I noticed his body initiating much better. It was always hard for Jack, she said, to start movements, and I thought it was because he didn't want to do it. But now I know it was his whole body apraxia and something that he couldn't control. Now let's recap what we covered. Exercise rewires the brain through what's called neuroplasticity. Muscles act as sensory organs, which help to build brain-body awareness so that we can move more efficiently. Movement releases brain-boosting chemicals like BDNF to help grow new neurons, and exercise strengthens the mitochondria for energy and immune health. Now, all of this is backed up by a lot of research, but specifically a 2020 study found that just with 20 minutes of moderate exercise, it helped to reduce anxiety, improve sleep, and support regulation in autistic children. Okay, so where is Jack now? Well, over time, his body adjusted to the intentional movement, and he told his mom through typing that he wanted to keep exercising, and that was the reassurance that she needed. Jack explained that his body wasn't refusing, it was going rogue, and when he was asked to move on demand, it was that much harder. Starting a movement, he said, was the hardest part of any motor skill. So what made the difference? Well, having someone beside him who stayed calm to help co-regulate even when he couldn't, and that person using motor coaching to guide his body. That combination was a game changer. Today, Jack works out at a CrossFit gym with his peers in a class led by a trainer who presumes competence and uses motor coaching to support them. Jack feels stronger, more confident, and healthier. And yes, he's even lost weight. Does he still have whole body apraxia and autism? Absolutely. But but now his body is getting the input it needs to function better, giving him more confidence and control in everyday life. So if you've ever wondered, is exercise really worth the effort for my child? The answer is 100% yes. But start small and keep it fun. Be consistent and don't just cheer your child on from the sidelines, join them, because exercise benefits the health of all of us. If this video gave you a new perspective on autism and whole body apraxia, like and subscribe for more strategies on these topics, including brain-body health. Share this video with another parent or professional who needs to hear it. And please drop me a comment and tell me what movements or exercises have worked well for your child. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video.